What Would Louise Say? Join us every Tuesday at 10 a.m. Mountain Time. Hosted by Reverend Martine Bernard. Explore the wisdom of Louise Hay. Brought to you by New Thought Media Network. Dive into Louise's teachings. Experience healing and empowerment. Reverend Martine shares insights. Connect with a contemporary audience. Unlock your potential. Transform your life with love. Embrace positivity and healing. Join our vibrant community. Ready to join us? Let's spread love and wisdom together. Please like, share, and subscribe. Only on New Thought Media Network, positively inspiring.
Hello, beloveds. Welcome. Hello and welcome to What Would Louise Say? The show where we celebrate the timeless wisdom of Louise Hay and the extraordinary individuals carrying her legacy forward with love and light. I'm your host, Reverend Martine Bernard, and I'm thrilled and honored to welcome our special guest, Victoria Johnson, a luminous force in the global Heal Your Life community. Victoria is a Heal Your Life workshop teacher and coach trainer for Canada. That's right, my beloveds, for all of Canada. So I'm saying good morning to each and every one of you. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening to all of you, wherever you're streaming from, and to the streamers in the future. We are thrilled to have Victoria with us, and I will tell you a little bit more about her because she has an absolutely incredible bio. So Victoria is a Heal Your Life workshop teacher and coach for all of Canada. Since completing her training in 2012, she has empowered countless individuals and trainers to love themselves and to have magnificent lives. She brings a combination of spiritual sight with a practical business savvy. So teaching and conversational style to what she does that uplifts and encourages so many people. Welcome, Victoria.
Oh, thank you. It's my pleasure to be here. I've been looking forward to it very much.
Yes. Oh, I'm so excited. My first question is, how did you discover the teachings of Louise Hay?
Oh, my goodness. Well, like so many people, they discovered me.
Yes.
There is a bit of a backstory in that.
Share it with us.
Yes. So way back when, really, truly, right in the beginning of when this work came out, I was in my late teens or so, and the book was given to me by the mother of someone who I was dating. And I laugh looking back because I think I probably terrified her, and she was like, "Oh my God, give this child this book." and so I read the book and found home, really is how I best like to describe it. I was reading pages of someone that could have been me, someone who I thought similar to, who I knew in the depths of my being that the words were true. I felt a sense of acceptance, understanding, and belonging. And that was something that was new to me because I was raised in a different way that I knew I didn't necessarily fit into that exact mold. So finding something that did resonate with me and that made me feel like, you know what, maybe I'm okay after all, and maybe I can think about having a little bit of self-respect. Maybe I can think about learning to love myself, and maybe it's okay to love yourself. All of that was a new concept to me. And so reading that book felt like home. Like so many people, I've gone back and forth with the book many years. And through my 20s, there were times when I was definitely walking in line as much as I could. And there was times when that knowledge seemed to go into the very lowest priority that I had. And so it was a lot of up and down as I was learning to navigate life, as we all are in our 20s. But I found my way back. And I believe that one of the things that is so powerful about Louise's work, and in particular the book You Can Heal Your Life, is that everyone can find a piece of themselves there.
That's right. That's right. What I love about your journey and the great reminder that you're giving to our viewers and to me this morning is that many times we go back and forth. We go back and forth on the spiritual path of awakening. We
Yeah.
fall asleep. We fall asleep and we reawaken. It's a lifelong journey. Very much like you, when I first read Louise's book, I was doing everything to a T. And then I went through, I memorized many of the affirmations and treatments from her books. And then I would go through periods of time where I would forget that I was a powerful spiritual
Yes.
being having a human incarnation. I would forget that I'm not a victim of circumstances and that my thinking is creative. My thinking is creative. I mean, what I love so much about the philosophy of the science of mind and Ernest Holmes is that he reminds us that the law is always working, whether
Mm-hmm.
we're conscious of it or not. And
Yeah.
the key to what Louise brought is that she helped us all to wake up again. And
Mm-hmm.
reminded the world that we are that we can become conscious co-creators with
Absolutely.
it. And we
You
can
know,
relate to that. Yes.
it's interesting that you mentioned that, because I was thinking about that just this morning, about how sometimes a person can get caught into looking for what's wrong,
Yeah.
looking for the problems, running the scenario of 742 ways that people don't approve of us through our mind, right?
Yes.
And what's beautiful about this work is that as it becomes more and more ingrained in us in terms of habitual, that instead we are running the track of the positive reinforcement. And when we find ourselves, and maybe this is true for you too, that when we find ourselves with a thought that isn't in alignment, we notice it right away. Just a couple of days ago, I caught myself saying something critical about myself, and like immediately it felt wrong. And in the past, that would have been the normal conversation,
Yes.
right?
Exactly.
But to be able to catch it right in the moment and be like, oh, I don't talk about myself that way, even if I am kidding, right? I don't talk about myself that way. And so I truly believe, like what you said about being a co-creator, it
Yes.
is, was it Wayne Dyer who used to always say, when you change the way you look at things, the things you look at change?
Yes.
And very much so in line with Louise's work.
Yes. I love Wayne Dyer. Miss him. Great books, my beloveds. If you want books that just excite you with an enthusiasm for this philosophy of self-awareness, for someone who's watching who hasn't studied the science of mind or who maybe hasn't read Louise's books, this is really a philosophy or a way of life that embraces self-awareness. So I would say that we are the practitioners of this idea that our consciousness, our thinking, our attitude has an impact on our lives.
Yes.
Because the science is now proving it. The science around neural pathways,
Mm-hmm.
thoughts and feelings impact the body, and quantum physics, how we can have impacts on circumstances or events happening on the planet. So there is science, my beloveds, that are now proving forth these principles. So it's
Yeah.
really the philosophy or the way of life that no matter what we encounter, we are going to hold a positive perspective about it. And that does not mean denial. So
Mm-hmm.
we're not denying suffering. We are not in denial of hardship. Louise never denied it. Ernest Holm, who wrote The Science of Mind, never denied it. He said, we don't deny the broken leg. we don't deny the broken leg. We go and we have a brace put on. Well, first we go and get it checked out and see what we need to do. But we also know that while we are tending to the broken leg, we are holding a positive consciousness or positive tone, feeling tone, with positive emotions about what's happened. We
Yeah.
kind of work on ourselves. We say, okay, my leg hurts. I'll be out of work. But maybe the universe wanted to give you some time off and you hadn't been listening, and you got the time off. But we always just imprint our life experiences with a positive attitude. So
Yes.
wonderful.
That's a really good clarification, and I'm glad that you shared that.
Yes.
And how empowering it is for your listeners and your viewers to know that they are in control of the thought. So let's stay on the broken leg. So yes, the leg is broken. Like you said, it can be like, oh my gosh, I can't believe I broke my leg in the summer. Now I can't go swimming. I can't do this. I can't do that. And my bones, they heal really slow and go on and on and on. Right? But to be able to empower your viewers and listeners by knowing that that leg can still be broken, but they can absolutely change their perspective on the situation and control the thought. Louise used to say, you're the thinker in your mind, right? So to not be victim to the broken leg, but instead adapt and go forward and finding the joy in other things that you may not have been able to enjoy had you not had this opportunity to spend more time at home.
Exactly. This is not a crazy idea, but I studied art history. I was blessed to go to Mexico City several years ago. I've been to many parts of Mexico, and I went to the Frida Kahlo Museum. And Frida Kahlo, at a young age, the famous artist, my beloved, I love her portraits. They're actually very, very tiny. So I went to the Casa Azul, the blue house, her home with Diego Rivera, who was a phenomenal muralist, very, very famous. Anyway, it was her accident. She had a horrible, horrible accident, and this was very, very sad, that left her in a wheelchair for most of her life and suffering. And I think she wanted to be an athlete. I'm thinking in my mind as I remember, she was very, very athletic as a young person. It was either dance or a sport that she wanted to be involved in. And she was so depressed, but her father got her a canvas. They set up a canvas and she began to paint. And she is now, we can bring her up and talk about her because she has left such an impact on the world because she painted. So she took something that was very horrific and traumatic, very much like our beloved Louise, but turned it into a life-changing, inspiring moment that she decided to be creative with. She decided to think a new thought about her circumstances, and she's enriched our lives. I don't know when she left the planet, but her art is everywhere, and people around the world are still enjoying her art. And it's the same thing with our beloved Louise, who changed her thinking about her circumstances and has impacted all of our lives for the better. For the better. So I know that may seem like I digress, but I love artists.
No, not at all. Not at all. I listen to you talk, and it reminds me that something that is really helpful for the viewers and listeners who are just learning to apply this knowledge or apply it deeper into their lives, that repetition is really a key. So when I work a lot with people in addictions, and this is something we talk about a lot, is, when you've been thinking one way for many, many, many years, it's not realistic to think, okay, well, I'm going to do this affirmation, one time or even one time a day for 30 days, and it will change my life. But to remember that those old thoughts, the thoughts of being stuck in the negativity or stuck in the challenge, those are there because of repetition. They are automatic thoughts. They are habitual because of repetition. And so when we apply that to the changes that we're making in our lives, they only become habitual thoughts in the positive if they are repeated as well. And so whatever it is that you're facing, to the viewers and listeners, remembering that when you're shifting perspective, you don't shift it once. It's ongoing. And to keep thinking in the perspective of where you want to go and where you want to be, so that you create that new habitual way of living.
That's right. And Victoria, just as a guesstimate, a guesstimate, how many times do you think, I know that it's been studied, but it escapes me at this moment. How many times do you think someone needs to repeat an affirmation before it becomes a part of their being?
You know, I really don't know the answer to that. There's lots of studies that say you can create new habits in 21 or 28 days. So what I would assume is that habitual thoughts would run along those same lines.
That's right.
But I think it's really important to be attaching action to them as well, so that they do become more of a lifestyle.
That's right. And I also just remembered, beloveds, that your feelings behind the thought. So if you go, oh, I'm a millionaire, I'm a millionaire, I'm a millionaire.
Yes.
No feeling behind that. That's like nonchalant. But if you're like, I can feel I'm swimming in $1 million. I see the houses I'm going to build for my family. I see the organizations I'm going to write large checks to. And I can just feel the joy of never having to worry about money again. So it's the feeling behind the affirmation that brings it to fruition very, very quickly. If you're like, ho hum, nothing's going to happen, beloveds. But if you put feeling into it, even if you say it 5 times with feeling, it will come to pass. So that's the key, the feeling tone. And that's why people, many times if something goes wrong, oh my God, I don't feel safe in this car. I knew one day I was going to have an accident. The feeling behind that negative affirmation.
Yes.
So the stew is what brought it into form. So our feeling tone is very important.
And to the viewers and listeners, if you feel like you can't do that, let me challenge you. Think about something in your past that made you very angry and really upset you. And so, maybe it was a family member or something, like you just mentioned, Reverend Martine, a car accident or something, something that really upset you. And then connect with the feeling that you get right now when you are thinking about that feeling. And then also, if you were telling me the story and of what happened to you that made you angry, connect with the feeling that would be with that. And so what you've just done is prove to yourself that you can, in fact, connect emotions, feelings with your thoughts, because that's just a thought. It's not in the present moment. It's just a thought. So why can't you do the same thing for the future? Well, the answer is you absolutely can. Connect to the feelings using the same system.
Oh, that's wonderful. What a wonderful suggestion. Oh, thank you, Victoria. And I would love, love, love to know what inspired you. What would you say was the inspiration behind your becoming a Louise Hay Heal Your Life trainer? So please tell us the journey and what it looked like for you. And how did you know it was your calling? How did you?
Okay. Oh, that's a lot of questions. Let me start at the beginning.
It's a long question, so we'll take it piece by piece.
So, and like I said, throughout my 20s and even throughout my 30s, I went back and forth a lot with Louise's work and really got serious about it in my late 30s. And one of the things that I've been teaching this work and giving out Louise's book, most of my adult life, but just not formally, as so many of us are in how we live and what we do.
Especially that gift edition. I would ask Michael to just show the gift edition. I think everybody should go out and get this 40th anniversary gift edition. It's beautiful. It's really beautiful. And let's all start reading it again. I need to do annual readings of Heal Your Life. You can read it.
I'll let you in on a little secret. I don't know how she does it, but every time I read it, there's more information in there that I didn't see before.
Of course there is. Of course there is. I'm so sorry I interrupted you. I get so
That's okay. All right, let's keep going. Okay, so So in maybe around 2010-ish, 2011-ish, I went to an I Can Do It conference. Hay House puts on these events internationally where they bring in a bunch of different speakers and we all gather and like-minded energy collected. And so of course Louise was there, so I had to go, so I went. And while I was there, I met Rick and Patricia, so Dr. Patricia and Crane and Rick Nichols, who are carrying this work forward with Louise's authorization and blessings. And I at some point picked up a brochure. Now, my habit at these kinds of events is I pick up lots of brochures and that type of thing, and then I go home and I dump them all over my bed, and I that looks interesting. And so, of course, I said, that looks interesting. And I put it on my bathroom mirror, not knowing what would come of it. And lo and behold, a few months later, I was in San Diego taking the training. And yes, and so, life, just like you and I were just saying, we put the intention there.
Yeah.
And we match the energy, and we let the creator, we let universe take care of the details.
That's right.
And having said that, I did take the action of registering, so the action part is very important. And so I went and took my training, and I came back. So this is as a workshop leader, and I came back, and I think the very next weekend I did a 2-day workshop, and have continued to do so since then. And I went back a few months later to do my coach training, and found out that I really loved coaching one-on-one as well. And so that was a great piece to be able to add into what I did. So I had the workshops and I had the coaching, and my coaching clients came to my workshops, and my workshop people became my coaching clients, and it all just fed really nicely. And over the years, you develop your own style and personality that goes with Louise's work. Louise was such a beautiful person in being open that way, and not saying everything must be done one way and one way only, but instead to just bring who we are to the table. And when I'm speaking, maybe I'm resonating with you, Martine, but maybe I'm not resonating with someone else. And that's okay, because there's going to be someone else that they do resonate with them. And that's the beauty of this work. And so I was invited to come back down to San Diego a few times, I believe, to assist with the training there. And I believe it was in 2016. And Dr. Patricia asked me something along the lines of, well, I guess you know why we've been bringing you down here. We would like to invite you to take this work to Canada. And I prize myself of being very on the ball and seeing things when they are right in front of me and coming. I did not see that at all. But it was a beautiful blessing, and continues to be one of the biggest gifts in my life. And so since then, I do a training twice a year where I'm certifying people through heart-inspired presentations in Hay House to become Heal Your Life workshop teachers, licensed and certified, and licensed and certified Heal Your Life coaches. And my heart is full. It's a beautiful work. And you asked about calling.
Yeah.
And I think that is where I found my calling, where I realized that I've known from a young age that there is a calling on my life. Like, even in my crazy teenage days, I did know that. But to find it, and I believe that what I found was that my ability to help others learn to believe in themselves is my true calling.
That's incredible. It's incredible. It's always wonderful when someone can actually speak what their calling is, put it into words for others to hear. I think that's magnificent, because I know that some viewers, and I spent many years wondering why I was here. And it's okay, my beloveds, if you're feeling that way. I think what's so important to reiterate is that when we put positive energy behind our intentions, And your intention was to, since you were a child, knowing that you had a call and wanting to make a difference. That was part
Mhm.
of the energy. That brings it to fruition. It
Yeah.
will happen quickly when you are on, I call it like the golden path. It's like the yellow brick road. When you're following the yellow brick road, you will get to your destination. Just get on the path. And the path begins with spiritual practice. Begin to become self aware. Read and reread.
Mhm.
You can
Yes.
better your life. Practice your affirmations. If you think you don't know, I do know what I'm doing. I know how to do it, when to do it, what to say. I always make good choices. Even if you're like, oh my gosh, I don't know how to make good choices. I always procrastinate. I don't procrastinate anymore. I do everything in a timely and efficient manner. Those can become your mantras. Oh my goodness. So I can't imagine, Victoria, how many people you've worked with. How many trainers would you say that you've trained, or teachers? I would say in
Mhm.
Canada throughout the years. Just a general, I have no idea of the landscape. This is exciting knowledge.
Yes. So I don't know that number exactly. If I was to guess, I would probably say 300 to 400,
Oh,
somewhere in there.
fabulous.
I think that's probably right.
Oh, this is wonderful. So,
Yeah.
for anyone who's watching or live streaming from Canada, please know that you can find Victoria's teachers. And Victoria, you are working specifically with the teachers. You're not doing classes or workshops for the general public.
Yeah. So right now, what I'm really focused on is supporting the teachers and coaches. I do some corporate workshops. Uh,
Wonderful.
yes. However, I would much rather be supporting people going forward and really helping them to feel really comfortable with the materials. We do this in group sessions by gathering monthly. We do it individually with people reaching out and being like, oh, Victoria, I have a workshop next Saturday, 3 hours. What should I do with this? What should I do with that? And that's the beauty of the training too, as you know, where
Yes.
we can format things from 1 hour to 2 days to 10 weeks to 5 weeks to whatever makes the most sense for the teacher and for the people that she is bringing the workshop to, or he is bringing the workshop to.
Wonderful.
And since we touched on that, let's go there for a minute.
Yes.
I am loving that there's more and more male teachers.
Yay. Yay to the guys. Yeah.
Yes, it's so important to have all different energies in the room and just to have this
Yes.
beautiful open space where it's love and acceptance for everyone.
Very, very much so. So, since you are, Victoria is a master trainer, master, I call you a master teacher, spiritual teacher. And please speak to our audience. How would you encourage them to take a Heal Your Life 2-day workshop? Having read the book, so let's say someone knows a little bit about Louise's
Mhm.
work, there's that person, or someone who's delved even deeper but didn't know. I mean, I didn't know until I was like, is there a course I could take? And I found it. So how would you encourage someone to?
Sure. Well, let me start by saying a little bit about what to expect, because I think that sometimes we can get in our own way because we're imagining all sorts of things. So,
Yes.
first of all, expect to be in a group of people who are loving and supportive and who want to focus on their own growth just like you do. Expect to have a teacher, a workshop teacher, who is coming from the very best place and doing his or her own work, that they are doing their own work, and so that they can be there and to be a support for you. Know that as you go through the workshop, in whatever format that you're taking it, it will be progressive. In other words, we are not going to jump in with, all right, tell us your most painful memory and let's work on healing that right now
We're
in
not,
front of everyone.
not going to scare you.
No, it's a very loving, gentle space. However, because of the progression, it allows you to get to a place where you feel comfortable going deep, and no one will ever pressure you to go deeper than you want to go. We will encourage you to stretch, but that's all it is encouragement and support. And so to find a 2-day workshop, go to healyourlifeworkshops.com, put in your area, wherever it is around the world, and it should come up with a list of teachers for you in that area, and you can find events that are going on.
Wonderful. I believe that the workshops are deepening and a tactile experience of Louise's philosophy.
Yes.
And I was as excited as a little kid just to be around other people who also value her work. I was blessed that during my training and the 2-day workshop, there were wonderful women from Saudi Arabia, from we had European women from India and Asia, women from North America, everywhere. We didn't have any men in our workshop, but apparently there have been men who take the 2-day workshop. So yes, men, you'd be comfortable and you would feel very, very welcomed in the space.
Yes.
Because Louise's work worked for everyone. And in fact, when she began, it was during the AIDS crisis here in North America. And her first members, the first people who had in such an expansive group, who had a direct experience of Louise and the magnificence of her teaching, were gay men who were looking for emotional support. So this is universal principles, my beloveds, that apply to everyone. So Victoria, I would love to talk about, we're going to take just a few minute break, and then we'll come back and I'll ask you about your work in the business environment and how you've brought Louise Hay's teaching to the business world. So my beloveds, this is Reverend Martine Bernard, and I'm the host of What Would Louise Say? And this is the New Thought Media Network.
Please help us say thank you to our organizational sponsors, including the Hefferland Foundation, Affiliated New Thought Network, International New Thought Alliance, Science of Mind Archives and Library Foundation, Center for Spiritual Living Denver, Center for Spiritual Living Midtown, New Thought Philadelphia, Planned Happiness Institute, Summit Center for Spiritual Living, One Heart Retreats, Center for Spiritual Living on the Lake, Unity Kitchener, Unity Spiritual Center Ottawa, Om Center for Spiritual Living, Satya Center, Begin Within Ministries, Center for Spiritual Living North Jersey, Unity of Savannah, and the Center for Spiritual Living Seattle, as well as all of our individual donors. Thank you for being part of the New Thought Media Network. Please like, share, and subscribe. New Thought Media Network, positively inspiring.
New Thought Media Network is proud to present New Thought's Roots and Branches with Reverend Dr. Ruth Miller. Join us every Tuesday at 4 p.m. Mountain Time. Tune in live or watch anytime on our YouTube channel. Discover the rich history of New Thought and its impact on modern spirituality. Join Reverend Dr. Ruth Miller as she shares insights, stories, and teachings that inspire and uplift. Experience deep insights and transformative teachings that connect you to the roots of New Thought. Visit our YouTube channel to catch up on past episodes and join us live every Tuesday at 4 p.m. Connect with us and be part of the journey.
What Would Louise Say? Join us every Tuesday at 10 a.m. Mountain Time. Hosted by Reverend Martine Bernard. Explore the wisdom of Louise Hay. Brought to you by New Thought Media Network. Dive into Louise's teachings. Experience healing and empowerment. Reverend Martine shares insights. Connect with a contemporary audience. Unlock your potential. Transform your life with love. Embrace positivity and healing. Join our vibrant community. Ready to join us? Let's spread love and wisdom together. Please like, share, and subscribe. Only on New Thought Media Network, positively inspiring.
Hello, beloveds, and welcome back. I'm Reverend Martine Bernard, and I'm the host of this wonderful show called What Would Louise Say? And this is my wonderful guest, master teacher, Victoria Johnson, who is based in Canada, and she has trained several hundred Heal Your Life teachers and coaches throughout Canada and the world. I'm assuming, Victoria, that they...
Yes, well, I'm glad you mentioned that. As you were saying, when you went to your training, there was people there from around the world. And I think we've had 17 different countries represented at the training that we do in Canada. We do it at Banff, Banff being a worldwide destination. So people get the same look on their face that you just got when I mentioned when we do our training. And
Wow.
we have a lovely retreat center hotel that we work out of. And it not only is it the blessing of the people gathering together and the connection of those like-minded people and the work, the Louise Hay work, but we're also supported so well there by Creator, the universe, by nature, the mountains, the rivers, the air, the ability to move our bodies, all of those things. It's wonderful.
Yes. I am off to Banff. My beloveds, please remember SOAR, our wonderful conference, is happening in Banff from August 6th through the 11th. It will be the mecca of all of the great science of mind ministers and practitioners. And I know it's also open to the public. So please join us in Banff. I went years ago, Victoria. Oh, it's magical.
It really is. You know, and as you were speaking, I think about how Banff is such a high vibe place already.
Yes.
It's going to be buzzing with all of you there.
It certainly is. So my beloveds, our Louise's philosophy, worldview has gone global. I think 90 million copies of You Can Heal Your Life. I think translated into about 75 languages everywhere. This has had a global impact on minds and hearts because intuitively, we know we have an impact. You know, we have all of these sayings, you know, if you believe it can happen, it can happen. We have all of these things from all cultural lenses, sayings that reinforce this idea that we are creators, we are co-creative, and that we can have an influence on our circumstances.
Yes.
Definitely. So Victoria, please tell me about taking Louise's philosophy and your training and expertise to the business world. How has that been? Have people been receptive? Have you had to change how it looks and sounds? Please talk about it.
Absolutely. So one of the things that I really love is communication.
Yes.
And so being in corporations, they have this interesting thing there called people. And
very interesting.
Yes. No two alike.
Yes.
And so what I do when I go in is really focus on improving communication styles, on helping people see themselves and other people in a more compassionate and understanding way. Again, teaching the philosophy that it's not only okay, but it's crucial to have a beautiful relationship with yourself so that you don't get caught into those traps of comparison and jealousy and all of those different pieces. And so going into workplaces, the first thing I do is I ask the organization, what is your goal? What is your goal with bringing me in to work with your group? And often, they'll talk about conflict, or people maybe being in little cliques and not communicating with each other. And so knowing that, then I know what to come in with in terms of material. And having each of us be in a position where we can just go in and see each other as people in the workplace, it can change the entire dynamic. It introduces a whole new idea that we are all human beings doing our best.
Yes.
And we can see each other that way, rather than seeing someone that's 2 slots up on the ladder or 2 slots below on the ladder, or having it be someone you're in competition with. If you can instead learn to have this spirit of connection and collaboration, amazing things just organically happen within the corporations.
Wow. If we have a spirit of collaboration and cooperation, amazing things happen in the organization. I just had that stood out to me as you were describing it, because it really exemplifies our desires as teachers, as healers, as ministers, the New Thought Media Network. We want the world to come together as a world that works for everyone, where there's collaboration and cooperation. And yes, please go ahead, Victoria.
And not everyone's going to come to the building, to the Center for Spiritual Living, or to the workshop. And so, when we are creative and find ways to reach people in a way where they feel comfortable and can be receptive, then we, again, going back to that calling, are just finding our ministry.
Yes, yes. Do you find that people are open to what you're sharing when you go into the corporate environment, or are people more resistant, or do they think it's woo-woo?
All of the above. So, every group has a mixture of all of the above. There's the mixture of, oh my God, I can't believe they're making me do this.
I right. love that reaction. It's that, you remember when you were a little kid and you would just let your body just go, and you would stop and just exasperation. You're like, I can't get out of this.
That's right. It's like, I'll just do my time.
Exactly.
And so, in those cases, I just say, hey, you don't have to believe anything I'm saying. I just ask that you stay in the room. That's all.
Yes.
And just inviting that acceptance of they're allowed to be where they're at and feel what they feel. It's not my job to tell them what it is that they should feel and what opinion they should have about what we're doing. But if they're at least staying in the room, even if they're staying in the room giving me one of these, something is getting through.
I'm laughing because I remember when I first began, I had an ongoing argument with Louise's book, You Can Heal Your Life. I used to go to a New Age bookstore in college, and on the way to the ladies' room was the self-help section. And her book was on top with the big heart, the rainbow heart, and it said, you could heal your life. I was like, no, you can't. You can't heal your life. What is this person talking about? What does that even mean? That sounds like crazy stuff. Now we have the word woo-woo. I would have said that's woo-woo up the shebang.
Yeah.
So our first encounter with spiritual principle, typically, that hasn't been something that we've grown up with, is to go, this is that silly, weird stuff. So even myself, and we all have those feelings within, and then we realize, wow, these principles and these truths with a capital T actually apply to our lives.
Yes.
Oh my gosh, I am unconscious. I just wanted to say hello to the view. Woo-woo is good. Yes, woo-woo is good. I'm so grateful. There are many people commenting. Thank you, beloveds. Thank you for being here and watching the show. Someone said thank you, Victoria and Reverend Martine. Well, thank you, because we are inspired by you. And Louise wanted to touch every heart. She wanted everyone to know that there is a key to freedom. And the freedom lies in your attitude, in your mind. We say consciousness, but let's just attitude. The freedom lies in your attitude towards life. I love reading about centenarians. There's a wonderful scientist. He was published by Hay House, Dr. Mario Martinez, that says that centenarians, he studied over 1,000. Most of them are really optimistic. They're like positive realists. They're not completely pie in the sky, head in the sky, and they're not realist, but they're very, very optimistic. And they tend to let things go easily.
Yes.
And they have an innate understanding of themselves as ageless, timeless beings. He has this. I was watching an interview. He asked them, many centenarians, about 15, when were you middle aged? Because he doesn't believe that anyone should call themselves middle aged. And the older, one of the men, there are very few men, guys, come on, catch up, who are centenarians. And he was like, I'm not old. Leave me the heck alone. So he was like, I'm not even old. I don't even know what middle age is. And most of the women were like, well, maybe when we were 80, maybe 80 was middle aged. So I guess if you're 102, 80 gets to be your middle age. But all of this to say, beloveds, they all had positive attitudes. And most of them were spiritual and not religious. And listen to this reasoning, which was so fascinating. People who are very, very religious, when they're studied, they're stressed. Am I doing it right? Am I following the rule? I didn't follow the rule. Mm-hmm. Whereas people who are spiritual and not religious are a little bit more relaxed. They're open at the top. They are open at the top. They are positive about all of it. And that gives them longevity. So having a positive, open spirit is the key. And I feel as though that's the key to understanding and being open to what Louise was saying, ultimately. Mm-hmm. It all makes sense to me. I know it probably didn't make sense to you, Victoria, when you first discovered Louise, but little by little with practice. And that's why Louise's statement, I'm willing to change. I am willing to learn. I am willing to heal. I am willing to love myself. The willingness opens the door. I'm willing to understand this philosophy, which I think is woo-woo and sounds utterly ridiculous. I'm willing to give it a try.
Yeah, I think it's interesting that we talk about New Age when there's nothing new about it.
Right? There's nothing new about it.
These are philosophies and ways of living that have been around likely since the beginning of time.
Yes.
And somewhere along the line, we were taught it's not okay to believe in yourself. It's not okay to love yourself. It's not okay to have pride, self-pride, all of those different things. And just like anything else, like you were walking to the ladies' room and the book being there, you can heal your life. No, I can't. Right?
Exactly. No, I can't.
Right? Exactly. So I guess my question, if I was to turn it around, would be like, well, if not you, then who can? Exactly. Right? And so we are the ones with that power and if we want to talk about religion or talk about God, and having that original spark of light within us is what gives us the power.
Yes.
And to be able to heal our lives. That's something that we all have. And there's not one person listening who doesn't have that spark, that beauty of the creator within them that gives them the power to heal their own life. And yes, and I love that so much for everyone. And if I could encourage people, it would be to explore self-love. Like, just really explore, what would my life be like if I really, not just said the words, if I really loved myself? What would my life be like? What would I put up with? What would I want for myself? How would I talk to myself? What would I surround myself with? Who would I surround myself with? All of these different things. And, this show being What Would Louise Say? That real key piece for Louise, she always said it went straight back to loving yourself. No matter what we're teaching or coaching on, it goes straight back to loving yourself.
Victoria, we have a few minutes left, and these are very interesting times on the planet. And many people are feeling a lot of fear. People have gone through trauma. Many people are worried. They're in fear, doubt, and worry. As a master trainer, a master teacher in Louise's worldview, what are three things you could offer, three tips to guide or to encourage our viewers and listeners and just add to the good? This is what we're trying to do.
Yes, we want to add to the good.
Yes.
Okay, so let me think about this for a minute. I'm going to start off with my own experience. As things have become a little bit more and more unraveled in North America and throughout the world, I was getting really caught up and really consumed and outraged and all of the things that I could justify, but the only person I was making miserable was myself. And I was actually in a meeting with a bunch of my students and coaches who had gone through the training with me. And one of the ladies said that she had started reading the passage, "Let there be peace on earth and let it begin with me." And from that day, I have picked that up. That is on my phone screen. I see it many, many times a day. Let there be peace on earth and let it begin with me. I'm going to move along here because I know that we are against the clock. But the second thing I would say is if you want to put more love in the world, put more love to yourself. And so develop a daily practice of self-love. And why I say develop a daily practice is that these things don't accidentally happen. They take work and repetition.
That's right.
And so whatever it is that is going to support you, for me, it's journaling. Whatever it is that is going to support you to deepen your relationship with yourself, do it and do it every day. It is an investment that will pay higher dividends than anything else you will ever do. Having that deep relationship with self. And as a third thing, I think what I would say is speak kind words.
That's right. To yourself and to everyone.
Yeah.
Let's do our best, beloveds, to give people the chance and the opportunity and the privilege to think whatever they want to think without it disturbing our peace.
Yes.
That's so important. And speak kind words. It will have a ripple effect on the planet.
Yes.
Oh, Victoria, master teacher Victoria, thank you for coming on today. It's been a pleasure having you here and having you share from the depth of your experience. Oh, I'm so grateful for the impact that you've had in the Heal Your Life movement. We just want it to expand even more, bring it, re-enliven all of the nuggets of truth that Louise has left for us to grow the legacy, to just expand the legacy. So thank you so much.
Oh, thank you for having me. I feel like I could talk to you for another hour. It's been such a joy. And thank you to all the viewers and listeners as well.
Thank you, beloveds. So this is What Would Louise Say? And I'm the host, Reverend Martine, and this is the New Thought Media Network.